Greetings, everybody. You might have to turn your phone, if that's what you're using, your handheld device, horizontal because of the way I filmed this video, and I want you to follow along. Now, what you have on the screen is my Bible, an old Bible that I have had for more than 30 years. And this is the Bible I used to use when I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist. Now, we are in the book of Daniel here. As I'm flipping through these leaves, I'm trying to demonstrate how much we used this Bible, how much I use this Bible, and how much the Seventh-day Adventists and how much time they spent in Daniel and Revelation, teaching us what is to come. These were their fundamental beliefs. They had very strong end-time prophetic message, and I loved it. So what you're seeing on the screen here are scriptures that we used to delve in, talking about the times and the change of time and the signs of the time and how these beasts would emerge. And you have the seven angel message. Those of you who are Seventh-day Adventists, you understand that. I've been to many churches and I have not heard them emphasize so much on end time prophecy. Please keep in mind that Ellen G. White, who is the person who began the Seventh-day Adventist Church, is their prophetess. And sometimes you couldn't tell the difference between Ellen G. White and God, the way they speak about her. And so she has all these books that were published long after she died, all these prophetic warnings. And so that's what Seventh-day Adventist is based on. This is Revelation 12. Pardon me for a moment. No, Daniel, sorry. This is Daniel. Daniel shut up the word and seal the book, even to the time many shall run to and forth and have no place to go. So, these are the leaves that fell out of my Bible. All the time I spent. Now we go to Revelation. Now this is the book that most people know about, especially when it comes to the story about the mark of the beast. And I'm just showing you how much time I have spent in these texts and what I learned. What I still believe as things that were written that will come to pass, whether it be prophesied by man or by spirits, whether they are carried out by man or spirit, they must come to pass, because what we write down must manifest. That is my personal belief. All these years, in those days shall man seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. That is talking about the end time, how terrible things will be, and how people wish they could die and they won't be able to. Neither repented they of their murders and all the terrible things that they've done. Really look closely. Babylon is falling, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed. If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Skip over. Go over to finish. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. This is what the Seventh-day Adventist Church was preaching. They were spending years teaching people this. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandment of God and the faith of Jesus. This is what they were saying. This is what they believed in to this day. Or can someone who is a Seventh-day Adventist tell me if this is still your fundamental beliefs? The 7 angel message, or the 3 angels message. Listen, let's continue. This is what was piled up in the mind of mostly African people in the Caribbean. This is why they always come and curse you out if you have any questions about any other thought process, any other religious or spiritual belief. You're gonna have to deal with them. But this is what they were this is what they were taught. You can't blame them. The 3rd angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and take the mark, this would be their end. Imagine listening to that for years and years and years and years. It becomes a part of your psyche. Where are they now? Offering themselves as sacrifice. When you hear them tell the story, you wouldn't believe. Hey, Revelation and Daniel has more markings. The great beasts, which are 4, and 4 kings, which shall rise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess it. They're told about the dark days that would come. Then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth are like iron. So it tells you about the different governments that would rise up, from the brass to the gold, and how long they would serve. And of the 10 horns that were in his head. This is what I listened to for many years. This is what people listen to for many years and believe. To this day, even as they are roped in and given an opportunity to go against what they claim they believe, not what I believe, what they said was the truth. So you can't look to people for your redemption. You have to look to your guide, who you perceive to be your God. Search and find it, because these ones will lead you astray. I was disappointed in them long time ago when I found out that they were paying tribute to the Catholic Church, even though they spent all their time condemning it. The biggest set of hypocrites in the Christian faith, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, biggest hypocrites. All these years deceiving the people, lying, because they would have been lying if they are teaching this and they didn't believe it. I'm literally shocked, and I shouldn't be, because I walked away a while ago, but I'm shocked to see what I'm seeing. These ones were so judgmental. They criticized other churches. They condemned other places and said that you were going to hell if you were not a Seventh-day Adventist, because they had the truth. That's what they love to say. We have the truth. And I believe they had the truth at one point. Talking about these great beasts. The 4 and our 4 kings and shall rise out of the earth. I still believe that. I still believe that. See, money is a very dangerous demonic tool. The things people do for money. You dare not trust your own. Because it's not just about fearing to lose your life. Because when you're deeply steeped in God or in the spirits, whatever you say, you can't fear man. You can't fear man. It was written for hundreds of years, or our generation that were taken out of, Africa and wherever in the world they were taken from and brought to the islands. They read this or they heard this. They believed it. Some of these older folks that have gone on a Sunday or a Sabbath could miss. They could miss one Sabbath. Because you think if you miss Sabbath, you're going straight to the pit of hell. That's what they were taught. And they said they'd be the ones who would be prepared. And they were prepared to sacrifice their lives for their beliefs. That's what they said. That these things are coming, these days are coming, and it's going to be terrible tribulation. But they're going to surrender. And they warned that some people wouldn't make it. Well, from the look of things, none of the churches are going to make it. Because I've not seen one Seventh-day Adventist come out to say anything so far. Except offering the sacrifice of their own people in their church. They're devils, demons. And they have been the ones that they have used. So when you hear people sometimes fighting against something, you have to watch them with a critical eye. When they were talking bad things about the Catholic Church, it was all a scam and a sham to make it seem like they were different. All part of the same tree, branches of the same tree. They tricked people. They deceived people. They are the ones the scriptures were talking about. The very ones who bring the message to you. The messenger. Sometimes some of these messengers need to be stoned. And I said, don't stone the messenger. Wicked. That's why the people were not seeing any changes and any growth. They were praying to a God that they didn't identify with or didn't identify with them, because what they were being sold was a lie. The people perish because of lack of knowledge. But a lot of them were getting the story, and in the end they are doing the opposite of what the story said. They fear man more than they would have feared God. They believe this stuff. That's what I find baffling. They believe this thing. So I'm wondering, the people who believe this thing and see that everything that is manifested in this time looks like the thing, are they going to stay there? Are they going to leave? Stay blessed, everyone.
The Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester, which has been bursting at the seams with increased COVID hospitalizations, has gotten some reprieve. This following the promised relocation of outpatient services to the nearby Seventh-day Adventist Church. Krista Campbell has the details.
Hundreds of persons who would have turned up at an already overcrowded Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester redirected to the Seventh-day Adventist Church Hall. It's just across from the hospital and is providing much-needed space for COVID patients who are either moderately ill or in critical condition.